Week 1, Foundations of Somatic Awareness. Welcome to the Barbara Schnarr podcast, and welcome to Week 1 of our Somatic Healing Journey. I'm Barbara Schnarr, and I'm glad you're here. Every week, we come together to grow and glow, learning to live more fully, more consciously, as we glow from the inside out. This is Week 1 of 12 of the Barbara Schnarr podcast, Somatic Healing Series. If you're following along in my 12-week Somatic Healing book, that's fantastic. If you don't have the book, that's absolutely fine, but you will want something to write with and to write on. If you'd like to get the book, just go to the About section of the Barbara Schnarr podcast where we have found this episode, and there will be a link to my 12 Somatic Healing Coach Sessions for Coaches and Individuals book on Amazon. Or you just go to Amazon and search for Schnarr Coach. That's SCHNARR Coach. Be sure to check out the BarbaraSchnarrPodcast.com. You can find the daily motivations, latest podcast episodes, and links to all the books. I like it. Be sure to follow me on all the socials too. Welcome to the very first episode in our Somatic Healing Series. Over the coming weeks, we're going to explore what it means to reconnect with the body, understand the messages it sends us, and develop a healthier relationship with ourselves through awareness, movement, and self-understanding. Before we dive in, it's important to understand something that many people never learn. Your body is not simply a vehicle that carries your brain around. Your body is constantly gathering information, processing experiences, responding to your environment, and storing memories of what you've lived through. Every emotion you experience has a physical component. Every stressful event leaves traces in the nervous system. Every joyful experience creates change in the body as well. Yet most of us spend much of our lives disconnected from this reality. We're taught to think our way through problems. We're taught to push through exhaustion, ignore discomfort, and keep going even when our bodies are asking for rest. We often become highly skilled at noticing what's happening in our minds while remaining unaware of what's happening below the neck. Somatic healing offers a different approach. The word somatic comes from the Greek word soma, meaning the living body. Somatic practices focus on developing awareness of the internal bodily sensations and recognizing the body as an essential source of information. Rather than viewing the body as something separate from the mind, somatic healing recognizes that the two are deeply interconnected. Modern neuroscience continues to confirm what many traditional healing systems have known for centuries. The body and the brain communicate continuously through an intricate network involving the nervous system, hormones, muscles, fascia, organs, and sensory receptors. Thoughts affect the body affects thoughts. Emotions influence physical sensations, and physical sensations influence emotions. When we begin paying attention to the body, we gain access to information that may have been operating outside our conscious awareness. You may have experienced this without realizing it. Perhaps you've walked into a room and immediately felt uncomfortable without knowing why. Maybe you felt a knot in your stomach before receiving bad news. Perhaps you've noticed your shoulders creeping towards your ears during a stressful day. These experiences demonstrate the body's remarkable ability to perceive and respond to life long before the analytical mind catches up. Somatic awareness is the skill of noticing these signals. This first week isn't about changing anything. It's not about fixing yourself or healing all your wounds or achieving a particular state of relaxation. Instead, this week is about observation. It's about becoming a curious investigator to your own internal experience. Imagine you've been given access to an incredibly sophisticated instrument panel that has been there all along. For years, the lights and gauges and signals have been operating in the background, but you've rarely looked at them. Now, you're beginning to learn how to read them. One of the reasons somatic awareness can be so powerful is because the body often communicates through sensation before the thoughts become fully formed. The body may register tension, constriction, heaviness, warmth, openness, pressure, tingling, or numbness long before we're consciously aware of the emotional experience attached to those sensations. For example, anxiety might show up as the fluttering in the chest, a tight throat, or clenched jaw muscles, or maybe a restless feeling in the legs. Sadness might appear as heaviness in the chest or fatigue throughout the body. Excitement may create sensations of energy, expansion, warmth, or increased alertness. There's no universal map. Every person's body communicates differently. Part of somatic healing involves learning your own body's language. This process can be surprisingly revealing. Many people discover they've been carrying tension in certain areas for years without realizing it. Others notice that specific situations consistently create physical responses. Some find that emotions they've struggled to identify mentally become much clearer when they pay attention to bodily sensations. The body often tells a story that the mind has yet to put into words. An important concept in somatic work is something called interoception. Interoception refers to your ability to sense the internal state of your body. It's sometimes described as the body's eighth sense. While most people are familiar with sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch, interoception allows you to perceive hunger, thirst, heartbeat, muscle tension, temperature, breathing patterns, and countless other internal experiences. Research suggests that stronger interoceptive awareness is associated with better emotional regulation, improved decision making, and greater resilience during stressful situations. When we strengthen this awareness, we become more capable of recognizing our needs before they become crises. Instead of noticing exhaustion only when we're completely burned out, we begin recognizing the early signs of fatigue. Instead of identifying stress only when we're overwhelmed, we become aware of the subtle signals that indicate our nervous system is becoming overloaded. And this awareness creates choice. Without awareness, our reactions are often automatic. With awareness, we gain the opportunity to respond intentionally. Throughout this week, I invite you to approach your body with curiosity rather than judgment. This may sound simple, but it can be surprisingly challenging. Many of us have complicated relationships with our bodies. We may criticize our appearance, become frustrated by physical limitations, or feel disconnected from certain sensations altogether. Some people find it difficult to pay attention to the body because doing so brings up emotions that we've spent years avoiding. If that happens, remember that awareness itself is not the problem. Awareness simply reveals what's already there. Think of it as turning on a light in a room. The light doesn't create furniture. It simply allows you to see what was already present. One of the foundational practices in somatic work is the body scan. The purpose of the body scan isn't relaxation, although relaxation may occur. The purpose is awareness. To practice a body scan, find a comfortable position. You might sit in a chair with your feet on the floor, or recline on a couch, or lie in a bed. Once you're settled, bring attention to your breathing. There's no need to change it, just notice it. From there, begin directing your attention slowly to different regions of your body. Notice your scalp and your forehead. Observe any sensations around the eyes and jaw and mouth and neck. Continue down into the shoulders, arms, hands, chest, abdomen, pelvis, legs, feet. As you move through your body, you may notice warmth, coolness, pressure, tension, tingling, pulsation, heaviness, lightness, or perhaps no obvious sensation at all. And all of these experiences are valid. Many people assume that they are doing a body scan incorrectly if they don't feel dramatic sensations. But in reality, learning to notice subtle experience is part of the practice. Sometimes the most important observation is simply recognizing an area that feels neutral or difficult to sense. Over time, your awareness becomes refined. Much like developing a musical ear or learning a new language, somatic awareness improves with practice. Another concept worth understanding is the role of the nervous system. Your nervous system is constantly evaluating your environment for signs of safety and danger. This process occurs largely outside the conscious awareness. According to researchers such as Stephen Porges, the nervous system continuously scans both the external world and the internal world for information that helps determine how we respond. When the nervous system perceives safety, we tend to feel more connected and engaged and capable of thinking clearly. When it perceives threat, the body may shift into protective states that involve fight or flight or freeze or shut down. These responses aren't signs of weakness, though. They are survival mechanisms that have helped humans endure for thousands of years. The challenge is that modern stressors often keep these systems activated for long periods. Emails, deadlines, financial worries, relationship conflicts, social media, and constant stimulation can create ongoing activation in the nervous system. The body may remain prepared for danger even when no immediate threat exists. And that's why awareness matters so much. When we begin noticing what's happening in our bodies, we can recognize activation earlier. We can identify patterns. We can understand our responses with greater compassion. Rather than asking, "What's wrong with me?" we can begin by asking, "What is my body trying to communicate?" And that question changes everything. So throughout this week, consider incorporating brief awareness check-ins into your day. When you wake up in the morning, pause for a moment before reaching for your phone. Notice how your body feels. Are you rested, tense, heavy, energized? Before meals, take a moment to notice your physical state. Are you truly hungry? Are you stressed? Are you eating because of habit or emotion or physical need? Before bed, check in once more. What has your body carried throughout the day? What sensations remain? What areas feel different than they did this morning? These small moments of awareness can accumulate into significant insights over time. Movement can also play a valuable role in developing somatic awareness. Many people think exercise is primarily about fitness, weight management, or physical health. Somatic movement offers a different perspective. The goal isn't performance, the goal is awareness. When you stretch and walk and dance and sway, pay attention to how you feel. Notice how your feet connect to the floor. Observe the shifting of weight from one side of your body to the other. Explore where movement feels fluid and where it feels restricted. Your body's constantly providing feedback. As you move through this week, try approaching movement as a conversation rather than a task. Ask yourself, what does this movement feel like? What changes when I slow down? What sensations become noticeable when I pay attention? You may discover that your body has been communicating valuable information all along. Perhaps most importantly, I want to emphasize the role of self-compassion in this work. Many people begin somatic healing expecting immediate breakthroughs or dramatic transformations. While profound changes certainly can happen, healing often unfolds through small moments of awareness repeated over time. One moment of noticing your breath. One moment of recognizing tension in your shoulders. One moment of realizing that fatigue is asking for rest. One moment of understanding that an emotion is showing up physically in your body. These seemingly ordinary observations become the foundation for deeper transformation. Awareness comes first, and understanding follows, and change emerges from there. As we close our first week together, I invite you to reflect on what you've learned about your body. What surprised you? What sensation stood out? Were there moments where you felt connected to yourself? Were there moments when awareness felt difficult? There's no right answers. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is relationship. You're beginning to have a conversation with your body, perhaps one that's been waiting to happen for a very long time. Over the next several weeks, we'll continue building on this foundation. We'll explore emotions, nervous system regulation, stored stress, movement, boundaries, and the many ways in which the body participates in healing. But for now, simply notice. Notice your breathing. Notice your posture. Notice your sensations. Notice the remarkable intelligence that exists within the body you inhabit every single day. Thank you for spending time with me today. I look forward to continuing the somatic healing journey together next week on the Barbara Schnarr podcast.